Smartphones are powerful tools. They connect us in ways never before imagined. We can reach anyone with a few taps. We can share our lives instantly. Yet, this ease of connection comes at a cost. While smartphones were meant to bring us closer, they are driving us apart. We are together, but increasingly alone. This is the paradox of our time. Our devices promise connection, but they often deliver distraction. We are drawn to the constant buzz of the digital world. We check our phones instinctively. We fear missing out on the latest update or message. This fear, known as FOMO, keeps us tethered to our devices. We choose virtual engagement over real-life interaction. This shift has profound implications for our relationships. We are less present with loved ones. We struggle to give our undivided attention. Conversations are interrupted by notifications. Intimacy fades as digital distractions take hold. We are left feeling disconnected and alone, even when surrounded by people. This is not the fault of technology itself. It is how we choose to use it. We have allowed smartphones to reshape our relationships. We must reclaim our time and attention. We must rediscover the power of being present. The future of our relationships depends on it. Phubbing, a term coined to describe the act of snubbing someone with your phone, has become a pervasive social phenomenon. It is the act of choosing your phone over the person in front of you. You might be scrolling through social media while having dinner with your partner. Or perhaps you are responding to emails during a child's bedtime story. Whatever form it takes, phubbing sends a clear message. You are not as important as my phone. This behavior, though seemingly insignificant, can have a detrimental impact on relationships. It creates distance and resentment. Those on the receiving end of phubbing often feel ignored, unimportant, and unloved. They may question their worth and the value of the relationship itself. Over time, repeated phubbing can erode intimacy and trust. Research shows that even a small amount of phubbing can have negative consequences. A study published in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology found that even brief moments of phubbing during a conversation led to decreased feelings of closeness and connection. Participants reported feeling less satisfied with both the conversation and the relationship overall. Phubbing is not just a bad habit, it is a form of micro-rejection. It is a subtle but powerful way of dismissing someone and invalidating their presence. While technology may be the tool, it is our choice to use it in a way that disrespects and disconnects us from the people we care about most. Intimacy thrives on shared experiences and emotional connection. It grows in the space between two people, a space increasingly occupied by smartphones. When we choose to engage with our devices over our partners, we create a barrier to intimacy. We miss out on opportunities for connection, both big and small. Trust, the cornerstone of any strong relationship, is also undermined by excessive smartphone use. When one partner constantly checks their phone, it can breed suspicion and distrust in the other. This is especially true if the content being consumed is secretive or inappropriate. The fear of missing out, FOMO, can further exacerbate these issues. The constant stream of curated lives on social media can make our own lives seem dull and inadequate. We may start to compare our relationships to those we see online, leading to dissatisfaction and resentment. Maintaining intimacy and trust requires effort and intentionality. It means putting down our phones and engaging with our partners fully present. It means choosing to be present in our relationships rather than escaping into the digital ether. We must remember that real connection happens offline, in the messy, beautiful space between two human hearts. Attention is a finite resource. Every time we divide our attention, we diminish our capacity to fully engage with any one thing. This is especially true in relationships, where attention is the currency of love and connection. When we constantly divide our attention between our loved ones and our devices, we shortchange both. Imagine trying to have a meaningful conversation with someone who is constantly checking their phone. The flow of conversation is disrupted. Important cues, both verbal and nonverbal, are missed. The speaker feels unheard and unimportant. The listener is only half present, their mind elsewhere. This divided attention creates distance and disconnection. It can make our loved ones feel like an afterthought, their presence secondary to the allure of the digital world. Over time, this can lead to feelings of resentment, loneliness, and neglect. The quality of our attention matters. When we are fully present, we give the gift of our undivided focus. We listen attentively. We respond thoughtfully. We create a space where true connection can occur. This is the foundation of strong, healthy relationships. Section 5. The language of inattention. Our smartphones have become extensions of ourselves. We carry them everywhere, constantly checking for updates and notifications. This constant connectivity has created a new language of inattention, a language spoken through the silent vibrations and illuminated screens that dominate our lives. This language is subtle but powerful. It conveys a message of disinterest and disengagement. When we reach for our phones during a conversation, we are saying, "I am not fully present with you." When we scroll through social media while our children are talking to us, we are saying, "You are not as important as my virtual world." These non-verbal cues speak volumes. They chip away at the foundation of our relationships, eroding intimacy and trust over time. The more we rely on this language of inattention, the more disconnected we become from the people who matter most. We must learn to recognize and resist the allure of this digital language. We must choose to be present, to engage fully in our interactions, and to give our loved ones the gift of our undivided attention. Only then can we create meaningful connections that withstand the distractions of the digital age. Section 6. Families in the digital age. The family unit, once a sanctuary from the outside world, is now infiltrated by the constant buzz of technology. Dinner tables, once filled with conversation and laughter, are now dominated by the glow of smartphone screens. Children compete with devices for their parents' attention. Parents struggle to enforce boundaries and model healthy technology use. This shift has profound implications for family dynamics. Children, starved for attention, may act out or withdraw. Parents, feeling overwhelmed and disconnected, may resort to using technology as a digital babysitter. The very fabric of family life, woven from threads of connection and shared experience, begins to unravel. It is not enough to simply limit screen time. We must be intentional about creating tech-free zones and activities that foster connection. Family dinners, game nights, and outdoor adventures provide opportunities to unplug and engage with one another. Creating healthy technology habits is not about demonizing devices. It is about reclaiming family time as sacred space, a space where connections are nurtured and love is given freely without the distraction of the digital world. Section 7. The emotional cost of connection. The irony is palpable. We have embraced smartphones for their ability to connect us, yet we find ourselves increasingly disconnected, lonelier, and emotionally depleted. The constant barrage of information, the pressure to maintain a virtual persona, and the fear of missing out take a toll on our emotional well-being. We become desensitized to the needs of others, both online and offline. Empathy wanes as we retreat further into our digital echo chambers. We struggle to regulate our own emotions, seeking solace in the instant gratification of likes and notifications. This emotional disconnect has real-world consequences. It manifests as increased anxiety, depression, and relationship dissatisfaction. It erodes our capacity for intimacy and leaves us feeling isolated and alone. We must acknowledge the emotional cost of our constant connectivity. We must create boundaries that protect our time, attention, and emotional energy. We must prioritize real-world connections and engage in activities that nourish our souls. Section 8. Reclaiming conversation. In a world increasingly dominated by digital communication, we must reclaim the art of conversation. Conversation is the lifeblood of relationships. It is through conversation that we share our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is through conversation that we build intimacy, trust, and understanding. Putting down our phones is the first step. Create tech-free zones in your home. Turn off notifications during meals and family time. Resist the urge to check your phone during conversations. Be fully present with the people in front of you. Listen attentively. Ask thoughtful questions. Share your own thoughts and feelings openly and honestly. Make eye contact. Put away distractions. Conversation is a skill that requires practice and intentionality. Like any muscle, the more we use it, the stronger it becomes. By reclaiming conversation, we reclaim our relationships and reconnect with the human experience's richness and depth.